Straight ahead on 12 News, a story of inspiration and perseverance. Meet a Park Center senior who's had to grapple with a lot more than wrestling. Plus, proposed improvements at Cooper High School. To make it happen, the school needs your vote. But first, a former Vikings great and Plymouth resident sheds light on the effect of concussions.
On the emotional side, it gets into me because I can't understand why I don't remember that.
12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. A former Vikings great from Plymouth is opening up about his injuries as a pro football player.
Injuries like his are spotlighted in a class action lawsuit against the NFL. Matt Blair spoke with reporter Sonia Goins about what he has endured since his days of playing for the purple and gold.
Coming to Minnesota was just a blessing for me to be here and play and be a part of the Vikings.
Former Vikings All-Pro linebacker Matt Blair was known for his ferocious tackling. He played for the team from 1974 to 1985.
Over 1,500 tackles I made in my career. That's a lot of hits.
Nowadays, Blair spends most of his days taking pictures.
Photography is something that's very exciting for me. I just love to take photos.
His basement office is full of photographs
Hawaii.
he's taken over the years.
I was born in Hawaii.
His passion for capturing memories is now overshadowed
out in San Francisco
by his own fading memory. Blair was recently diagnosed with the early stages of dementia.
From the past, I can't even remember a lot of things, even with my family. My mom and dad, things I just can't remember a lot.
His uncertain future is sometimes too hard to deal with.
It gets into me because I can't understand why I don't remember that. And that's where I just kind of sometimes...
Blair said he had at least one concussion while playing for the Vikings.
I made the tackle on a player, and I fell over on him, knocked him down, and my helmet came off.
He says when he played, concussions weren't a big deal.
Coaches asked me if I wanted to play. I played the game, and then we didn't go to the Super Bowl 11.
He now relies on help from his wife and is taking medicine to help with memory loss.
When I first started, I took a half a pill of it, and then I started taking a full pill of it. Now he wanted to do a double pill of it.
Blair is not sure of what to expect from the NFL settlement because older players won't get as much benefits as younger players. Blair says he wants to make sure his family's taken care of if something happens to him. But the NFL settlement is not his main focus right now.
Just want to get better and try to work each day. That's all I want to do.
Now, a settlement between the NFL and retired players is awaiting final approval from a federal judge. Right now, there's no overall cap on how much the NFL will have to pay over 65 years. Monetary payouts depend on how long a player has played for the league and what age that person was diagnosed with a condition like ALS or dementia. Mike and Alex asked for Blair. He says he's relying on his faith to get him through this all. All right.
It's eye-opening. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Sonia.
The Red Cross is finding two Crystal residents a place to stay after a fire in their home. Neighbors reported smoke coming from the house on Lee Avenue Thursday afternoon. Firefighters say putting out the blaze was tough because of the thick smoke and extremely cold weather that actually froze the water in their hoses. The weather also posed challenges for the firefighters themselves.
When you're moving around, it's manageable. But when you go into a fire, when you're spraying water, you get covered in a light misting of water, and then when you get out into the cold, you freeze pretty solid pretty quickly.
Wadke says nobody was home when the fire started, but 3 pets lost their lives. The fire rekindled early Friday morning, but officials say it was put out quickly the second time.
Where should light rail stops be built along the proposed Bottineau rail line? That question brought out more than 100 people in Golden Valley Thursday night. They weighed in on 2 proposed stations, one on Golden Valley Road near Theodore Worth Parkway, the other a quarter mile away on Plymouth Avenue. The Met Council is expected to decide on the stops this year. So far, the reaction is mixed.
Out of neighborhood traffic coming in, parking, issues, on-street parking, as well as the increased concentration for roads that we're trying to reduce the traffic, not increase it in this area.
I actually think it'll be a good thing for our community, so I'm looking forward to hearing about it, and I'm optimistic.
Next week, public meetings will look at the north end of the proposed route that's along West Broadway in Brooklyn Park.
A Brooklyn Park intersection plagued by injury crashes may soon be getting a big safety upgrade. The area around Douglas Drive and Oxbow Creek Drive near Champlin Park High School has been the site of 18 crashes over a recent 3-year span. 8 of those crashes involved students and resulted in injuries. Next week, the Brooklyn Park City Council could approve a plan to install a traffic signal there. It would cost $300,000, with $75,000 coming from Hennepin County.
Cooper High School's auditorium could be getting some much needed upgrades, but it needs your vote to make that happen. Cooper is one of 8 Minnesota high schools nominated for Chevrolet's $15,000 Drive for Education grant. Budget cuts in recent years have resulted in the auditorium falling into disrepair. Examples include broken seats, torn curtains, ripped aisle carpeting, and poor lighting. The school plans to address those issues if they receive the grant money.
I think people should vote for Cooper because we've had a long-standing tradition of excellent theatrical performances.
Minor things that are affecting the performances, like holes in the curtains, are just unprofessional, so we want to be as professional as possible.
To vote, you can find a link on our website, 12.tv. The winner will be announced next weekend during the State Boys Hockey Tournament.
At the state capitol, a vote on a bill changing how Minnesota licenses and lays off teachers will wait until next week. The bill was delayed Thursday after some lawmakers were surprised by a cost analysis report. The nonpartisan report said the bill could cost $1 million over the 2-year budget cycle. The bill would end the practice of teacher tenure and base layoff decisions on teacher performance. Minnesota's budget cushion is now almost twice as big as previously predicted. A budget forecast released today now shows a $1.9 billion surplus. The surplus is attributed to an improving state labor market, lower gas prices, and a stronger U.S. dollar. Coming up, an inspiring story of pain and perseverance.
It involves a Park Center wrestler who's had to face much more than just opponents on the mat. And then a little bit later in sports, the Breck boys hockey team battles Delano for a spot in the state tournament.
But first, a slight warm-up for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday will be in the upper 20s. Jay Wilcox with Sports Now. We're talking about the state wrestling tournament. This is a tough sport, and it's got to get even tougher when you get at that level.
There are not any bad wrestlers in it, and that's the problem for a lot of guys. I mean, you get up against some great competition, but a lot of local individuals in this. After team competition ended Thursday, tournament action started Friday morning at the state wrestling tournament. 8 mats in use for the opening round in Class 3A action. In the 132-pound class, Maple Grove's Brad Osseo shoots in on the leg of Monty Fredrickson of Cambridge Isani. Osseo gets the takedown, and that's the winning points in a 3-2 decision. At 138, Theo G. of Maple Grove uses the ankle pick to take Sakai Kelly of Henry Sibley down. G wins his match 9-3. Another Maple Grove wrestler in action in the 145-pound class. Logan Dick gets the reversal on Donnie Lure of St. Michael Albertville. Dick wins a close one 6-4. Carson Brolsma of Osseo, ranked number 1 at 152 pounds, is tested by Emmett Wagner of Shakopee. Brolsma gets the takedown here and wins 12-8. He was runner-up at 145 last year. At 170, Armstrong's Eddie Gonzalez is in red. Out of the scramble, he'll get the takedown on the way to an 8-2 win over Noah Benson of Centennial. Quarterfinal matches are taking place late Friday afternoon. After missing out last season, Breck's boys hockey team set its sights on getting back to the state tournament, which previous Mustangs teams had done every year between 2009 and 2013. Top seed Breck meeting second seed Delano in the Section 2A final. Scoreless late in the second when Tyler Lindstrom's shot sneaks through Delano goalie Tyler Rizzardi and is ruled to have crossed the goal line. It's 1-0 Breck after 2. Same score with just under 4 minutes to play, and Brian Hallinan slides it to the trailer Jeff Linna for the goal. Delano's fired up and they tie it up 1-1. More late fireworks. The pass across to Chase Ellingson, and he gets in close to score. Breck has a 2-1 lead with 2:34 to play. But Delano isn't done. Ben Myers splits the D to score a great goal with just 37 seconds left in regulation. It's 2-2 and headed to overtime. After a scoreless first OT, William Blake delivers the game winner on the rush for Breck. The Mustangs win a thriller over Delano 3-2 to advance to the state Class A tournament. It's playoff time in boys basketball. The state's top-ranked team in Class 4A, Champlin Park, took the floor Thursday night for a Section 5 quarterfinal game against Cooper. The Rebels waste little time establishing their low post game. Theo John gets the dunk plus a foul. Champlin Park leads at 16-4. The Rebels defense creates turnovers which lead to points. Jeremy Johnson with the strip, and he finds Jonathan Johnson for the dunk at the other end. Champlin Park not letting up on offense either. JT Gibson drives and kicks it to Jeremy Johnson for three. The Rebels extend their lead to 35 points by halftime. More of the same in the second half. Gibson spots Jeremy Johnson alone at the top of the key. He buries it on his way to a 30-point game. It's 61-18. The Rebels will need more big games from Theo John to keep advancing. The 6'8 sophomore contributes 21 points. Champlin Park routs Cooper 105-48. Number 2 seed Maple Grove beat Irondale, and at Wayzata, the 3rd seeded Trojans were at home to take on 6th seed Park Center. First half, and the Trojans work the ball into Austin Slater in the low post. He banks in 2, and Wayzata leads 16-9. Johnny Benninga goes baseline to score. He'll draw a foul as well here as the Trojans' lead grows to 10. Lawrence Ogunti tries to keep the Pirates close with some good outside shooting. He scores 23 on the night, but PC trails it by 11 at the half. Second half, and Benninga will pull up from 15 and hits a jumper here. 16 points in the game for the Wayzata junior. Jack Sawada passes inside to Slater, who passes back to Sawada for the short jumper. Sawada scores 23 in the game as the Trojans win it over the Pirates 79-53. Here's a look at the semifinals next Tuesday. Champlin Park hosts Centennial while Wayzata meets Maple Grove. That game is at Osseo Junior High. The section final is next Friday at Rogers High School. In Section 5, 2A, Brooklyn Center on the road to face Rockford. Rockford's Carter Olson is left open, and he buries the three-pointer. The Rockets dominate early. BC's Dante Hightower fights for the rebound. He gets the putback plus a foul here. Hightower comes through with another one here for the Centaurs, but they still trail it by 14 points. The final seconds of the first half, and Nick Schultz hits a three to give Rockford a 47-27 halftime lead. Second half, they're on the break. Ben Zimmer throwing it down for Rockford. Antonio Spivey drives hard and scores for Brooklyn Center, but the Centaurs are never really in it. Rockford rolls to an 80-52 win. The Rockets face Breck on Saturday night. So playoff action heating up here now in basketball.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot, Jay. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A Park Center student has grappled with adversity for far beyond his years.
But he has persevered. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains how he now has a family to help him out.
Let's go, Melvin. Right away, kid. Let's go.
There's a place athletes go, a place of focus, of concentration.
30, Melvin, 30.
A place fans' voices can't penetrate. It's where hours of practice come through for a win.
Attaboy, Melvin!
And it's a place Melvin Wilson likes to be.
Good work, kid. And he's got battery placed third last year, just missed going to the state tournament last year.
But this year could be Melvin's chance.
His strengths are his quickness and his toughness.
Toughness is something Melvin has had to learn on the mat and off.
Mostly I was just like moving from houses to houses, and it was kind of tough.
Melvin doesn't talk about his past much. He came from Liberia when he was around 7 years old with people who weren't his parents.
It was kind of like a family member. That's what I believe.
Over the years, he crashed on couches, slept in parks, and hid his rough home life.
It was really not as home like people would thought it was.
Then he started wrestling.
Just this little tiny kid coming out and was really good in wrestling and really quiet and
so cute.
And he met the Farrells.
We would take trips with wrestling, and so we kind of always like sponsored him. We always felt something for him, like he's just a neat kid.
As John and Tara learned his story and spent more time with him, they wanted to bring him into their loud, fun family.
It's natural. It's not like we have to try to be a family.
So after a long court process, they became his guardians.
We don't say we're his guardians, we're his parents.
We're his parents.
When I was there, I feel like, safe and secure and stuff like that. I just feel like this is a place I want to be.
Good work, Melvin. Good work.
The family is all here for Melvin at sectionals.
Still got a chance. He can come back.
And it's a close one.
Keep working, Melvin.
It comes down to the last 2 seconds. Right after the last match of Melvin's high school career,
It's okay. Proud of you, right?
away from our camera and away from the stands, his family is there.
You did awesome.
And there's no place Melvin would rather be.
Love you, bud.
In Osseo, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Melvin finished 5th at sectionals, and after graduation this year, he plans to go to school and learn construction.
Great story.
Yeah, it was a neat kid.
Great story. Still ahead, laughs, drama, and romance make their way to Armstrong High School.
We will preview their version of the Broadway hit Kiss Me Kate coming up next.
This weekend, Armstrong High School students offer a final winter treat.
As Neil Persley shows us in Weekend Showcase, they close out the winter musical season with a Cole Porter favorite, Kiss Me Kate.
It doesn't take a village, but it does take a lot of dedicated students from Armstrong High School to put on their rendition of Kiss Me Kate.
And there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and it isn't just the kids that you see on stage who put a lot of work into the show. There are also kids backstage that are on the crew, they're up in the booth.
I'm mainly in costumes. I help people get in and out of their outfits.
And the motto of the crew on this production:
If you're questioning something about whether or not it's stupid to do, like if you're thinking, should I walk through this even though it might be wet, don't. You just don't be an idiot.
sage advice. So hats off to the crew. Now, on with the show. Kiss Me Kate is a musical by Cole Porter, which he wrote in 1948. It is a play within a play about a group of actors putting on a production of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew as a musical. Nick De La Pointe plays Fred.
Nothing is going right during this play, and Petruchio, who I play in the play, he tries to hold it together throughout the whole thing. Everything's going wrong.
Senior Ellie Shortle plays Lily Vanessa.
She's very sophisticated, has it all together, kind of has like the pretentious, I'm really good at acting and singing and everything.
The play is well done all round, thanks to some diligent work behind the scenes and some longtime friendships.
We have great chemistry. We've been friends since I can remember. We've gone through grade school, middle school, and now high school together, and now I'm a senior, so.
For a lot of laughs and a very well done musical, you'll not want to miss this production of Kiss Me Kate. For a Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley.
And you have 2 more chances to see it. Kiss Me Kate runs tonight and tomorrow at 7 at Armstrong High School. That looks like a fun show. And fun
Sure
kids,
does. Fun
too.
cast, yeah.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Community Corner is coming up next. Have a great weekend.